Really pleased to introduce to you the class salutatorian, Sarah Davis. Sarah is a wonderful student, dedicated musician in our instrumental music program. She is deeply committed to service to others and is frankly one of the nicest human beings in our school. Sarah will attend St. Anselm College in the fall. Please join me in welcoming and congratulating the class salutatorian, Sarah Davis. Please come forward.
Class of 2020, we made it. We never thought this day would come. And although it's not the way we expected or envisioned it, our graduation is no less special. First off, I want to say thank you to all of my friends, family, and amazing teachers. Also to John Green. Thanks, Crash Course. I couldn't have done it without you. And I want to congratulate all of you. We have stayed up countless nights finishing assignments and studying for tests, and spent countless 5-minute passing times memorizing Quizlets and cramming in Spark Notes. But today, it all pays off. We all have worked incredibly hard to walk across this stage. On Friday, March 13th, we walked the Alvin Halls for the final time as Broncos. Unknowingly, we had our last classes, last lunches, last debates, last rehearsals, last practices, and so on. We didn't know we would never return. We didn't know we would be making history. As a district transitioned to, and soon continued with remote learning, I learned so many things. I learned that it is possible to miss waking up before the sun to get to school on time, or miss coming into class only to see the desks set up in a circle for Socratic seminar, or miss smelling a farm on a hot and sunny day. Actually, I'm not sure if I'll miss that one. I learned that school is not just a place for lectures and lessons, but for making friends and memories. I learned that school is the chance to connect with the classmates that I don't see outside of class. I left Alvin without saying goodbye to so many seniors I may never talk to again. But the most important lesson quarantine has taught me, and I'm sure all of us, is to not take anything for granted. Yes, cliché, but remarkably relevant for the class of 2020. I want to address what I believe are the 3 most important things we should never take for granted. Number 1, don't take your time for granted. I'm sure if we as a class could give any advice to current and incoming Broncos, it would be to enjoy every moment of high school because it can be taken away in an instant. It seems I spent my high school years wishing them away. I can't wait to be a sophomore. I can't wait to be an upperclassman. I can't wait for graduation. I spent many days longing for the future instead of living in the present. In college, I will be grateful for the 8 a.m. lectures or the 12 a.m. study sessions. And although I will inevitably have bad and draining days, I will be thankful for them. We have the rest of our lives ahead of us, so live them to the fullest. As we continue to wait, the clock continues to tick. So go for it, take that risk, earn that degree, or apply for that job. Use your time wisely and never take it for granted. Number 2, don't take people for granted. I'm sure none of us, myself included, believed it was possible to miss school. Okay, maybe you still don't dream of writing notes for 45 minutes or taking a full 90-minute test. However, I'm almost certain that we all want to see our classmates and teachers again, at least for a last goodbye. As I look back on the past 4 years at Alvin, I can't thank my teachers and peers enough for some of the best memories. Whether it was eating a paleo breakfast in freshman year science with Mr. Sidlisky, making crepes in French class with Monsieur, listening to Mr. Nesbitt's wild stories in APUSH 2, having class therapy sessions in AP Lang with Mrs. O'Toole, jamming to French music with Madame, holding a full Pi Day, that is Life of Pi Day, in AP Lit with Mrs. LaFrance, or constantly talking about cats in AP Stats with Miss Scott. I know I will never forget these moments, and so many others that I couldn't possibly list here tonight. So thank you, teachers, for creating these moments, and thank you, seniors, for making them memorable. I guess I took you all for granted without even realizing it, and now we have to say goodbye. Lastly, but perhaps most importantly, number 3, don't take your voice for granted. Advocate for yourself. Remote learning pushed us to speak up for ourselves and ask questions more often than we would in a regular classroom. When there was a confusing or difficult assignment, we emailed the teacher asking for clarification. When a grade didn't quite seem right, we emailed addressing our concerns. In college, most of us may advocate for ourselves by begging the professor to accept an assignment a day or two late. At any job, we will ask for raises and apply for promotions. Even in daily life, maybe you advocate for yourself by sending a wrong meal back at a restaurant or beeping at a car that gets a little too close to yours. However, we must also advocate for others. There are so many out there that have lost their voice or are screaming for their voice to be heard. How can you advocate for them? Use your platform. Stay informed. Inform others. Donate to organizations of your choosing. And vote. Voting not only advocates for yourself, but for everyone that the campaign you believe in stands for. We are the future. The future parents, doctors, teachers, lawmakers, police officers. We have all found our voices. Now we must use them to shape the society we demand. We will no longer be complacent or ignorant. Value your voice, use it, and stand up for what you believe in. I don't want to be remembered just as a class who graduated during a pandemic, who had their senior year spring full of last concerts, sports seasons, and dances torn away from them. I want us to be remembered as the class who survived the pandemic and used that adversity to grow and shape their futures. Generations before and after us will watch as we take advantage of our time, as we use our voices, and as we embrace this year of uncertainty to create certainty for the next. Whether you'll be attending college, going to serve our country, or heading straight into the workforce, the class of 2020 will be known as those who thrive despite countless obstacles thrown in their way. We are resilient. We are brave. We are strong. We are the class of 2020, and we will change the world. Thank you.